in shooting the three-point shot. Last couple of games, he's made 7, and he's really in a good offensive rhythm right now.
It was a 20-point Sun Devils win on January 4th in Tempe. This is the 30th all-time meeting between these two programs. The Buffs lead it all-time 16-13, and they've been really good in this building, 10-3 against Arizona State. Offensive rebound already for the Sun Devils. Up top for Alston Mason, and no good. Ball tipped around, and another offensive rebound. This is what you just talked about, something to look out for. Freeman makes him pay finally on the 3rd chance.
Well, credit Sean Phillips, because he retrieved the first offensive rebound, kept the second one alive right there. He's coming off 2 really good games. That's encouraging when you don't have Quaintance here tonight.
And already a turnover for Colorado. That's been a problem for the Buffaloes all season long, and Tad Boyle's thinking, cannot have one that quick in this game. You mentioned Sean Phillips, big shoes to fill tonight for the junior from Dayton, Ohio, as he is the one that will replace Quaintance. Look at him. He is the prototype for a 5-man.
Well, he still has tremendous upside. Just a junior, terrific motor, which you want those bigs to have, and he's off to an excellent start, bringing great energy.
Mason working on Yakimovsky. Mason's pull-up rims off. Bang got Dak. That's one who's coming off a couple rough games after he really broke out in this building against Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. 19 points, 8 blocks in that game. Hammond going baseline, tough floater, too strong. Dak with an athletic putback.
Well, Dak obviously really athletic, still slight physically, but that allows him to maneuver and be athletic on that offensive glass. You got to turn and check on him.
And got Dak, just a sophomore, 6'11", 185, and looks like he's got a chance to be a special player. B.J. Freeman, their leading scorer, with a step back. Malone rebounds.
Well, Colorado defensively is going to really have to contain out on the perimeter. You'll see Bob Hurley go to 4-guard lineup a lot tonight without Quaintance. That's going to make it difficult for Colorado to keep in front out on the perimeter.
Malone tried to go behind his back. Dak just didn't really see it. That's the 2nd turnover on the Buffs in as many minutes. Tad Boyle, year 15 at Colorado. He's done a tremendous job, and this is somewhat impossible based on what they lost last year. 3 NBA guys right now that are gone from a Sweet 16 team last year.
3 pros.
Almost went to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and 3 pros, and you move into a deeper, more physical league. But he has been so good here, consistently good. 20-win seasons for the last 5 years. So he knows how to coach, and he'll get these guys going.
Up for Dak, and that was off the backboard from Ron Cheek looking for him. They got away with it that time. Hammond driving baseline, and Hammond cannot get the roll. Nice hustle by Alston Mason, who's only playing about 37 minutes a night in this conference. Somehow got that shot off, but missed it. There's a problem. Not sure what the whistle was there. They blew the whistle and pulled it off to the side. There's Bobby Hurley in year 10 at Arizona State, and really 3 NCAA tournaments. They went back-to-back in 18-19. They've had talent, though. He's been able to bring talent to Tempe.
Well, obviously, I mean, you're not going to find a better basketball pedigree than Bob Hurley. And they're getting better. And even though they're 2-6 in this league, they've been right there. They've been juggling lineups because of injuries. You know, they can't win. You get Sannon back a game ago, and hopefully get him back in some rhythm, and then you don't have Quaintance here tonight. But he understands the work ahead, and if you look at that game at Iowa State, Chucky, they really play, or against Iowa State, they play with tremendous toughness. Just a late run by the Cyclones, who are excellent, as we know, was the separation.
Sannon misses his first attempt off the bench. Malone back to the basket against Phillips. Back to Malone, quick turn, too strong.
And Colorado's going to try to throw it inside there for 2 reasons, because smaller Arizona State team without Quaintance, and then that guy right there, they want to get him off the floor and get him into foul trouble.
Don't believe that was a pass from Jihad, but it certainly looked like they planned it all along. Ron Cheek trying to go baseline against Mason. Has a size advantage. Good defense. Dak now driving. Mason looked like he poked it to help force that miss. Miller. He's bumped, and a whistle against Colorado. Adam Miller on the attack, and Arizona State off to a solid start, leading 5-2.
And somebody who is emerging the last couple of games, who becomes even more important here tonight in Boulder, Sean Phillips Jr. looks the part. They're 2-6. And if somehow you look to tonight, for example, you go to Colorado on the road without acquaintance and get a win, obviously that's huge for many, many reasons. But you're right. This is a team, they're talented. And something to keep in mind, too, in addition to some of the injuries that they have had, they're relying heavily on 3 freshmen that play big roles on this team. That's rare in Power 5 basketball.
That was a great possession right there. Sannon, Miller, and Mason connecting to give them an early 6-point lead.
And that's the challenge, I think. With Quaintance being gone, them going small, they're going to have more guys being able to attack out on the perimeter. Colorado's got to really do a good job of one-on-one containment.
Miller poked that out of play. It'll stay at this end. B.J. Freeman, their senior leading scorer, is on the bench right now. And you see that wrap on his left thigh. We didn't see anything that happened. We'll try and get word on his status, but that is potentially more bad news for Arizona State. Hopefully he's all right and can continue in this game. He's been really good too. 22 against Baylor, 26 against UCF. On a streak of 8 straight in double figures before he only had 9 against Iowa State in their last game.
And he can really get it going offensively, as you know, Chucky. Make a lot of tough shots.
If Alston Mason thought he was going to get 90 seconds on the bench tonight, think again. Miller's deep 3, hit it. Adam Miller can really shoot it, and they'll need that tonight as well.
Boy, Miller, he's that guy that just has great experience, obviously. He's been through a lot to get to this point. Shooting it really good this year, 43% from 3. That's tough contested make right there.
Yakimovsky driving, no good, and a loose ball. Ali on the floor, great hustle from the freshman. Quick 3 from Arizona State, no good. Hammond pressing the tempo. Tad Boyle, we heard him and shoot around talk about, don't necessarily want to take quick shots, but they want to get up and down tonight and challenge the short bench of Arizona State.
Yeah, a faster pace would favor them over time, even with the quickness that Arizona State is going to put out on the perimeter, the way those guys can run in transition. Basically has 7 guys available, and that's assuming B.J. Freeman is fine over there on the bench.
Freeman is walking back to check in, which is a great sign for Sun Devils fans. Hammond getting downhill. They got to find some rhythm offensively. That's a good look inside to Trevor Baskin.
Much more tempo up front right there. Colorado has the last couple of possessions. Chucky, they're pushing it. And if they don't get anything in transition, they've flattened out Arizona State where they can get into their offense and move it quickly. Great cut by Baskin right there.
Mason now trying to go to Jihad, another turnover. Baskin trying to go the distance. Oh, look at that from Baskin. Great move to take it all the way.
Remember back on January 4th when Arizona State basically took it to the Buffaloes, but not to Baskin. He was terrific. 23 points and 10 boards, 5 offensive rebounds.
His best game as a Buffalo. He spent 4 years at Colorado Mesa, Division II school. Obviously in the state, scored over 1,600 points there. Miller up top, Ali with a nice pump fake. Sannon 3. He can really shoot it and can't get the shooter's roll that time. Back to the hot hand Baskin. Jope. Ron Cheek, little size advantage, goes to the left hand and missed it big time.
Yeah, good job of Miller when Ron Cheek got the basketball, just staying strong right there, keeping him about 10 feet from the cup.
Miller, no-look pass. Ali, corner three, rims off.
Right now, Arizona State has that quote-unquote small lineup in there. Basically, Jihad at the 5 position. They still have a 5-point lead, 2-possession advantage, Chucky, here in the early going. Boy, Mason's been good for Arizona State, but turns it over right there. Baskin in transition. Little defense to offense.
Getting better as this season goes on.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Los Uzan is a really good player, and obviously has a little bit better pieces around him at Houston. And when you lose a guy like Jamal Shed, you cannot replace him. But Uzan really manages that team well, and then that win at Kansas made huge shots down the stretch to get him back into it. So he's had a terrific year, kind of quietly.
Harrison Carrington taken away there by Ali, trying to go all the way and finishes. And one chance for the freshman, Amir Ali from Little Elm, Texas.
Now, I love the pressure by Bob Hurley coming out of the under 12 timeout. Sets this up, boom, right here. Double team, reads it, Ali right to the cup. And that's what you want to do to a team that struggles with turnovers. Colorado's been turnover prone all season long, and that's 5 already. And now you see ASU picking up full court with that pressure.
Amir Ali had his best Big 12 game in the first meeting with Colorado. Had 10 points, hit 7 of 7 at the free throw line, so picking up right where he left off. He's the 3rd member kind of that talented freshman class of Quaintance and Sannon, and there's another Colorado turnover. Ooh.
And that's a well-executed play. I mean, that's a dunk. R.J. Smith it's a bounce pass at his shins.
We were talking before the game. Both of these teams turn it over at a high rate. Neither of them turn opponents over a lot. So something tonight had to give. But what you see is a lot of the sloppy ones that are almost unforced from these teams.
Yeah, when I talked to Tad Boyle earlier in conference play, he said, because I don't know what it is, but we seem to invent new ways to turn it over.
Ali feeling confident. Short on that. Dak rebounds. And here is Colorado pushing the tempo a little. Right back to Dak. Look at the runner. And couldn't get it to roll in, but 2 free throws for Ben got Dak.
Well, you see how well Dak runs the floor right there. I love the ball being advanced up the floor on the sideline to Ruffin right here. Ball doesn't touch the hardwood, and it just continues to rim run right there.
Ben got Dak last year was the team's most improved player. As this season has rolled on, we mentioned the Cincinnati game where he really broke out, but he started the last 5 games since then. He had 15 against Oklahoma State. He struggled in the last couple games, but you can see flashes of what could be a really great player.
Yeah, didn't play much. 3 minutes in the first meeting on January 4th in Tempe. Colorado picking up the full right here. Now, Arizona State, to me, Chucky, they have this 7-point lead and have played well, but they have settled for the 3 a little bit too much. Made a couple early. Sometimes you can fall in love with it.
It's a turnover against Trevor Best. He's a freshman who actually joined the team just a couple weeks ago, giving Alston Mason a spell right now. Best played at Word of God Christian Academy with Jaden Quaintance. Was cleared just before their Baylor game a few weeks ago. He picks up Ruffin. Malone against Phillips. A couple big bodies. Carrington going baseline. Look at Carrington! Oh my goodness!
Well, I think that surprised everybody but Harrison Carrington.
That was a no-doubter, and Carrington, great defense, got a piece of that shot.
Man, look at this. I mean, kind of fumbles it. Malone inside, and then just a straight line drive. And as he takes his second drill right there, he's okay. Nobody's going to rotate over. Carrington, another young player for Tad Boyle that has a lot of promise. Former walk-on, started at Arizona State, or excuse me, at Arizona on Saturday. This team definitely has some depth and some pieces, and that's one of the things that Colorado felt like tonight. Over time, maybe they could wear out the shortened roster of ASU.
Tad Boyle said, really loves coaching this group, likes all the kids. Jihad. Dak says no. And Jihad kind of bullied him under the hoop, but it's that athleticism that makes up for it.
Well, Jihad, I like the fact that he drives it right there. Boy, Dak, such a quick jumper. Yeah, the naked eye, I thought that might have been goaltending. It looked like he got that pretty quickly. Arizona State needs to get something downhill right here. Paint touch, driving it, or throwing it inside.
Miller working with Phillips. It's a 3 instead. Miller does hit it. When he's hot, it is a big problem. His second 3 of the night.
Yeah, you just can't leave him that much space out there.
Almost taken away by Smith, who's now on the floor. Look at Miller, rips it away, and Miller up for Mason, an easy layup.
Well, that's that toughness that Miller brings. Knocks down a 3, turns right around, gets up in Smith, pressures the ball, uses that experience and that strength right there to overpower him. Watch Miller right here. You mentioned it, Chucky. Little crossover. Waits for it. Poor communication. Ruffin's got to get out there. He can't expect Ballard to go contest and then look at the ball containment. Keeps in front, knocks it loose. Strength. Great 2 possessions by Miller at both ends of the floor.
Quick rest here too for Arizona State. Then you're going to get the meeting country in Maui. They've proven who they can play with.
No, he's an excellent coach, and you know what I think of him. And one thing that has not happened and will not happen is he won't lose it.
For Dak, pump fake driving against Jihad. It's Phillips to go up and an and one chance for Dak.
And this was part of the game plan, again, for Colorado with Quaintance being gone. They want to attack the 4s and 5s, which basically is Jihad, who he took off the drive, and then Phillips, who rotated over defensively. Nice job of Dak getting him to leave the floor, creating some contact. You get points, you get a foul on Phillips.
Go to a smaller lineup now with Ali coming in for Phillips. Dak completes the 3-point play. He's got 6 points to lead the way for Colorado. A few subs coming in for the Buffs.
And I like Bob Hurley getting Phillips out right now because you have the under 8 media timeout coming up. So you protect him, you continue to buy time because obviously Phillips, who's been playing well as of late, without Quaintance, you need to get 25+ minutes out of him tonight.
Sannon still looking for him to get going offensively. Ali driving against Baskin. Strong take for Ali. He's going to the line for another. There's something about playing against Colorado for Amir Ali.
Well, very good size out on the perimeter. 6'8" skill, goes to the left right there, has the angle. I love how he hesitated. Didn't get too deep, stayed under control. As you mentioned, another one of those talented freshmen who, you know, he has a larger role. He was going to have a role anyway on this ball club, but with the injuries they've had, he's had to play even heavier minutes.
And it wasn't a foul. It ended up just being a goaltend. It went in anyway. Arizona State commits a foul in the backcourt there at Colorado in a tough spot. Sun Devils on the road, up 9 on the Buffaloes.
Right here, coming out of the timeout, more pressure from the Sun Devils.
Colorado's taken 10 less shots than Arizona State in this game. A combination of turnovers, and then the Sun Devils on the offensive glass pretty heavily early in this one. Can Hammond get going? Kicks it out, good pass, Ruffin three. That's really good offense from Colorado.
Boy, and Ruffin did such a great job sliding to the corner when Hammond played off 2 feet and got to the heart of the defense. Classic penetrate kick, was able to shoot it in rhythm.
Ruffin's 12 against Arizona was his highest total since November 17th when he had 15 against Harvard. Alston Mason gives that one away, and they're going to say it was off of Colorado, but I think they're going to switch this, and this is the referees coming together to get this one right. Nice job by our officiating crew.
Yeah, no doubt right there. That's why you have 3 of them.
Antonio Petty, Jeffrey Anderson, DG Nelson, our crew tonight. Back for Ruffin. Yakimovsky. 8 to shoot. Dak trying to get in the paint. Big jump stop. Oh, look at the pivot.
How good is that? You know, you watch him play, and the more court time he gets, the more comfortable, more fluid, less hesitation you see.
Jihad wants to go right back at him. Blocked. The whistle comes in, though. It's the second time Dak's recovered on something like that, but what a move on the other end.
Well, 8 points on 3 or 4 shooting. Look at that. I mean, how good is that? Boy, it just changed directions.
You're just not supposed to be that fast at 6'11".
But, you know, obviously, what is he? They missing 185?
Yep.
So he's slight, but he's playing with strength and playing strong. Even on that foul on this end, Jihad went right at his chest, but he tried to fend him off. And so he is not being real heavy as an excuse right now. Obviously, another summer or 2 in the weight room, and he'll be that much better. The skill set is there.
Lead down to 5, and Colorado a chance to trim even further into it. Ruffin bumped by Miller. 5th team foul against Arizona State. Colorado, a team that does a really nice job of getting to the line, makes almost 16 free throws per game, 5th best in the league. They are headed toward the bonus.
Chucky, I'll go back to it. You mentioned it. Colorado just takes care of it. I mean, they're shooting 47% from the floor, but it's that right there.
Miller with the hammer. Colorado going quickly. Baskin right back out for Ruffin. Ruffin can't hit it. Mason, an extra step in there.
Well, it's Miller again. I mean, that's a cross-court pass up the floor. I mean, it's bad enough if you throw a cross-court pass straight across the free throw line, but all that was an outlet pass to a fast break for your opponent. I really like Miller. I mean, if you have a glue or a toughness guy, he is certainly that for the Sun Devils.
Dak couldn't get it to fall. Nice offensive rebound and the putback by Baskin. Baskin has 6 for Colorado. Ali, and that's taken away. Sun Devils have had their fair share of cheap turnovers. Ball's moving right now for the Buffs too. An offense that looks a little more in rhythm. Into Dak, to the corner, extra pass. Yakimovsky, got it! You said it. And they take care of it. They're shooting it all right. Yakimovsky cuts the lead to just 2.
This is as pretty a possession as you'll see in basketball. I mean, constant ball movement, attacking, correct decisions. Yakimovsky right there, guy that they need to get going along with. Hammond, boom, in rhythm. And the whole time, they had Arizona State back on the heels. I mentioned it earlier in the game. When they haven't turned it over and they've pushed, even if they haven't gotten anything in transition, they've been able to, assuming they take care of it, get ASU on their heels, and that allows you to get into your offense. And obviously with the Tad Boyle ball club, the ball will move. That was an excellent, excellent possession.
Andre Yakimovsky, a career 34% shooter from threes, made 211 in his career. He's shooting the worst three-point percentage of his career this season, just a touch over 30%, but not getting a ton of looks like that with that type of ball movement.
And especially early in the year, he was a catch-and-shoot guy at Washington State, and that's still, as you just saw, what he is best at. But they've tried to move him around on the floor offensively with Colorado.
Nice feed into Phillips from Miller, an easy bucket for the Sun Devils out of the timeout. Nice draw up.
And I know they haven't been drawing things up for Phillips this season, but you look in that matchup with that. I mean, he's got a lot of weight advantage. You saw it on that possession. I'd look in there some more.
About 60 pounds of an advantage. Phillips with the block shot right there. He stepped out of bounds when he tried to save it, but he is playing some of his best basketball of the season. He had 4 blocks against Iowa State, which was a season high. And that'll take us to our final media timeout of the first half. Sean Phillips filling some big shoes tonight and doing what we see from Jaden Quaintance a lot at halftime. Colorado has brought this back to 4. We've seen the offense at times look fantastic, and that's probably what gives Tad Boyle the most headaches is they run their stuff. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, see what happens when we don't turn it over.
Baskin trying to step through. He's in a little bit of trouble here. Looking for Malone. 6 to shoot. Ruffin up top, 3 to shoot. Driving inside, scoops it up, and Jihad has the rebound.
So you have the 2 teams in the Big 12 that turn it over more than anybody. And early on, Arizona State was doing a great job. Now they have 6 turnovers. Their last 3, Chucky, about the last 4.5 minutes, have produced 7 Colorado points. So, I mean, they've given back by what they've taken from Colorado. They've got to go back and take care of the basketball. And it's crazy. We talk to coaches every game, right? That's what we're talking about. Look, points off turnovers battle right now. But what do they tell us every game? You know, what's important? You know, you got to defend, you got to rebound, and we can't turn it over. And that's just been something both these teams have struggled with a lot.
And those numbers we just showed you very well could be the story in the second half. Who can bandage that the best? Baskin for 3, wide open, and it's a good night for Trevor Baskin so far.
Trevor Baskin, I think he'd like to put Arizona State on the schedule a couple more times.
Already 9 tonight after 23 and 10 in the first meeting. Mason with Phillips lobbing it up for Phillips, and look at that. Wow.
Well, I know Sun Devil fans would certainly like to have Jaden Quaintance tonight. But the silver lining is now you're starting to get a little offensive production. I mean, that's going to him. It's a 2-man play design between Mason and Phillips.
Phillips, a 59% free throw shooter, finishes it off. 7 points, 3 rebounds in the game already.
And what happens when you don't have key guys sometimes, important guys, it's an opportunity for others to step up, gain confidence, and then hopefully when Arizona State gets whole, now you have more options.
Back for Baskin, 3 to shoot. Baskin tucks it in. Yakimovsky got to get something off and does at the end. It rolls off. They're going to say no shot clock violation. Hammond checks back in for Tad Boyle.
I will say one thing about Colorado. Now, they had the violation there, but they have done a great job of not settling for the three. They have taken nothing but good threes here tonight. They're 3 of 6 because the ball movement's been good when they haven't turned it over, and they've been trying to get those paint touches and work inside out.
Arizona State has made 6 of their last 6 from the field, make it 7 of their last 7, and that's Sannon with his first bucket.
Well, he's a shooter and a scorer right there. That was the score part of his game.
Arizona State started 5 of 20 from the field. They've made 7 of their last 7. Sannon's the one that could really kick them into another gear. He'll take a seat, still kind of keeping an eye on his minutes as he's working his way back. Baskin hits the first free throw.
Yeah, this is how, look at him, how smooth he is. I mean, this is a young guy right there. Pull up, mid-range game, has all 3 levels. And Bob Hurley says the best shooter he's ever coached.
That is some very high praise for the young freshman. Minute 10 to play in the first half. Austin Mason, floater, and rims off, but a whistle.
You know, I always say this, Chucky, as you all know, but you cannot, if you're Arizona State or Colorado, take this last minute 8 for granted. I mean, it has to be clean. Obviously, Arizona State up 5 with a chance to extend that here. But you don't want them to extend that back out, especially after Colorado's played so much better. So both teams, you're going to have a couple of possession exchanges here. Solid defense. Make sure you have a good look on the offensive end. Close out the half in a positive manner.
Julian Hammond, in almost 3 halves of basketball, has not scored against Arizona State this season. Baseline, Yakimovsky back out for Baskin, inside, deep position for Malone, went through his hand. They're going to say it belongs to Arizona State.
Again, right there, they're getting things and opportunities, but I mean, that's just throwing and catching essentially right there.
10 turnovers against a team in Arizona State who only forces 11.5 per game. Here's Miller. He's hit a couple shots tonight from long distance. Mason now 8 to shoot. Around the corner, throws it back up top. Ali had to run it down. Was listening to the students who tricked him into thinking that was the end of the shot clock. Baskin running, blocked off the glass by Jihad, and still time for Arizona State. Five seconds, Mason driving. Whistle and a foul on the floor. Just the 6th against Colorado. Gives Bobby Hurley, though, a chance to get Josan Sannon off the bench.
And watch Sannon right here. You're going to see him on the opposite block, number 3 in black. They like to stagger off this box set right here to him sometimes.
Trying to get it to him in the corner, lobbing it up for Miller. Couple seconds, Miller on a runner. Rims off. A sloppy first half for Colorado. Offense looked good when they got into their stuff, but they trail Arizona State by 7 here at home. Sun Devils without Jaden Quaintance still getting the job done on the road so far in Boulder. They are currently the first 4 out, according to Joe Lunardi. Road win in the Big 12 would not hurt that. It's halftime here in Boulder. Arizona State up 7 on Colorado. Acquaintance. Now it goes down to 6 potentially without Freeman. We did see Trevor Best in a little cameo in that first half. Here's Hammond. Still can't get on the board against Arizona State. Didn't score in the first matchup. Hasn't scored tonight. He's 0 for 4 from the field.
Tell you what, Bob Hurley and his ball club, they've filled their quota and more of dealing with injuries. Good news is you don't have anybody in foul trouble. Sandin has 2. Everybody else in good shape. Nice job by Mason right there on the drive.
What's Tad Boyle thinking? Do you press the issue even more from a tempo standpoint, knowing that you just saw Freeman come out in street clothes?
Well, they obviously just got to go play. You got to take care of it. And then this guy right here, who's attacked the rim 2 straight possessions out of the game, Hammond and Yakimovsky, those 2 guys have to get going. Look, they had 5 shots combined in the first half. There's no, even with ball security being better in the second half, they won't survive with both those guys not getting going. At least one has to. It looks like Hammond's come out aggressive.
Phillips spinning, misses short on his hook shot. See if Hammond goes right back to business. Yakimovsky 3 on the way. Almost banked that in. But they have been the focal point in these first 3 possessions. He had thrown it up for Phillips, just a little too high. Looked like it was there too if the pass would have been on target. Deep 3 from Hammond.
Yeah, and again, you like his aggressiveness, but you want it to be like the last 2 possessions within the offense right there. That one looked like a marginal shot. Trying to get it going too much. But there's no question. I mean, you look at the first 4 looks, they've come from those 2 guys. So obviously an initiative at halftime by Tad Boyle. Those guys have to get it going.
Averages 14 a game, just 2 tonight. How tough is it when you lose guys the caliber of what they lost? Obviously, other guys have to step up, but it's just different roles as Mason steps back and hits the 3. How tough is that part for a guy like Julian Hammond? It's a totally different role for him this year.
Well, and yes, I mean, if you have a true point guard and you can get Hammond off the ball in a more natural position, absolutely. I mean, he's going to be much more effective offensive. It's actually been, you know, really impressive what he has done. Obviously, the last 6 games, he's been terrific, but he's had to handle it. Lead the team out front, which he's capable of doing, but that's not really the best part of his game.
From Denver, was a great high school player at Cherry Creek High School. He's also a really good quarterback in high school. Offensive rebound from Malone. Ronchik trying to go back into Malone. Phillips poked that out of play.
Boy, Phillips was great in the first half. I thought at both ends of the floor. They were able to get him 13+ minutes. Bob Hurley did a great job of making sure that he got out of that half with just the 1 foul. I think that's important, not only because of the depth, but because of the impact he's making while he's out there.
Hammond, nice step back mid-range jumper.
There you go.
Jihad driving, lost it, gave it up to Malone. Now numbers the other way. Hammond leading the break at the freshman. Sent in, look at the finish with the left hand from Julian Hammond.
Well, Christopher Walken would say, what, more Hammond? That's what you're getting here the second half. Boy, points off turnovers right here. Nice job of body control, creating contact. Soft finish. Well, that's a good sign right there. And outside of that forced three. Everything he has done has been within the game.
Ali going baseline, stepped out, trying to force it. Arizona State led by 10. That lead down to 5. Colorado with the ball now. Yakimovsky. Ronchik wanted a little pull-up floater.
And with Ronchik being defended by Phillips, you can bring him away from the basket. Opens it up in there to make you more comfortable on that floater.
Students trying to get into this game now. Get behind the Buffs. Miller up top for Phillips, couldn't haul it in. It goes off Ronchik. And we've got a ball game in Boulder. Arizona State up 3. Buffaloes, though, looking good offensively.
Of the game in Tempe, and I would probably say in Stillwater, I mean, they played with great emotion, energy, and toughness. But the biggest thing, their Achilles heel, is that taking care of the basketball. I mean, that is number one. And then secondly, defensively, they've got to continue to improve. But they're going to beat people. I said this the first half. He is not going to lose this team. He's got great young men, and that's just his talent as a coach as well. I mean, he's going to keep grinding.
Hammond pulls up, and he stays hot. 7 points for Hammond, all here in the second half.
And it's momentum downhill, right? I mean, he's driven it to the cup, but also he's been able to get 1-2 dribbles to the paint and pull up as well. Everything is moving towards the rim for him right now, and he's in flow.
Phillips has a big size mismatch right now. Hammond's fronting him, and Phillips was just begging for the ball inside. Miller from a mile away knocks down the 3. Big night for Adam Miller. He scored 5 straight for the Sun Devils now.
Boy, he's tough, isn't he? I mean, he just knows when to step up.
Backdoor feed to Baskin, who's fouled by Jihad.
Fouled on number 3, Joseph Correction on number 8.
Sends Trevor Baskin to the line. His dad, John, also played basketball at Colorado Mesa, where he was the all-time leading scorer. So Trevor followed in his footsteps for 4 years and then decided to make the jump to Boulder in the Division I level as Sannon checks in.
Yeah, and one thing Baskin has done since day one from the jump up to this level, I mean, he's been aggressive. I mean, he is not a passive player. Actually has multi-dimensions to his game.
Miller, they're running things through him right now. Pulls up, short. Ronchik spinning, Hammond, 3 ball. Rare second half miss for Julian Hammond III. Ali with a left hand, Dak denies it, and Hammond saves it. Dak running, kicks out, Ronchik, got it! Sebastian Ronchik, a 38% three-point shooter, knocking it down.
All right, watch this, Chucky. Now, this is all set up by Dak. Block, okay, keeps it in bounds. Now he's going to run the floor, and watch him. It's like a guard. Plays off 2 feet, drive, kick. That is a great play by Dak at both ends. Again, I said it, you know, we talked about it, Chucky. I mean, the more he plays, the better he gets.
Sandin off the inbound, misses. Jope has the rebound. Jihad hit the floor. Turnover, and those are the ones all year that have haunted Colorado. Jope and Smith not on the same page.
Yeah, and also right there, Baskin had Ali buried deep. It was a great opportunity to enter the ball to the post off that top of the key area.
Sandin trying to get downhill this time. Wild shot, no. Yakimovsky. Ruffin. Yakimovsky on the handoff this time. Good recovery by Sandin. Jope almost lost it. 5 to shoot. Ruffin, long way from the hoop. Around Miller, floats it up. Jope can't rebound it cleanly. Chases it down. Baskin on the follow, and somehow Colorado scores and ties it. First time we've been tied tonight. Inside, Jihad fouled hard by Ruffin. And now they're talking a little bit. Jihad took exception to the foul. Those exchanges didn't look friendly.
Well, this game's intensity is picking up. It's a hard foul right here. I like it. I like it. Big 12 basketball. So I'll go back to Johnny Dawkins' team playing Kansas tough in Lawrence tonight. Really talented, good basketball team.
So just to clean a few things up, technical foul when we were going to break, when Jihad approached Ruffin after the hard foul. So 2 free throws at this end. Hammond hits both. They have their first lead. Here's where the technical happened.
After the hard foul, watch him walk right to Ruffin. Yeah, too much right there. And you don't want your players to get a technical. But sometimes that'll light a fire under you as a team. On the road, it's become a tough environment because of the run Colorado has made. The fans are now into it.
Jihad now shooting his shots on the foul by Ruffin. Colorado leading for the first time tonight. Arizona State as shorthanded as they've been basically all season. Freeman injured in the first half. Quaintance didn't even make the trip from Tempe.
Yeah, and if you keep it in perspective here. Okay, so Arizona State's on the road without Quaintance. They're without Freeman. And they're in position to win this game. And that's the way you got to look at it at this point. Regroup a little bit, get back to playing the right way.
Baskin leaning in and a great move.
Yeah, there was a couple of possessions where Baskin had an advantage on Ali and Colorado missed him inside. Obviously, Tad Boyle recognized that, made sure his team would go right at that matchup.
Jihad spinning on Jope. Nice move inside. He's fouled, and 2 more free throws for Bashir Jihad from Detroit, Michigan, and a Ball State transfer. Almost 19 points, 8 rebounds for Jihad there last year. So much talent in the portal. Man, as a coach, I can't even imagine when you get to the offseason, how do you even start? And there's not a ton of time. Things move pretty quickly from what we've been told.
I've heard so many coaches refer to it as speed dating. I mean you have to vet and make quick decisions. You know, in reference to Jihad, and I'd say Austin Mason, we talked to Bob Hurley today about it. And he has said this before, this was not anything new to us. But those mid-major players that are the best mid-major players, their transition to this level is usually good. And I think an advantage he has in recognizing that. Remember, he was at Buffalo a couple of years, which is a very good mid-major. We had tremendous success, so he understands that level as well as this. And that's why he was able to select those guys and know that they would be immediately good here in the Big 12.
Jope against Jihad. Spinning. Great defense from Jihad there to force the miss.
And smart defensively, just using his strength. Remember, Jihad has 3 fouls now with that technical. Important that he's out there on the floor, obviously.
Sannon's got 3 as well for Arizona State. No trouble really for Colorado. A couple players with 2, but nothing more. Mason mid-range. That was tipped by Hammond. I think that's a late whistle though against Hammond.
I said they got Mason on the wrist. Let's take a look on this baseline jumper. Watch Hammond come over. Now on the follow through, I guess. Late whistle.
Pat Boyle did not agree, but Mason ties us at 47 apiece. Colorado at home tonight trying to snap their longest losing streak since the 2008-2009 season when they lost their final 12 games. Smith is fouled, and if this is Jihad, it is, or no, they got Miller. Well, they put up 2-4, so I don't know if it's 44 or 8. It looks like it is 8, and it's Jihad, and that's number 4.
Boy, it gets even more interesting for Bob Hurley over there.
Yeah, have we mentioned they're thin tonight? Man. Basically a 4-guard lineup with Phillips at the 5 spot for Arizona State, who is going to have to play massive minutes down the stretch.
And Jihad is the most difficult matchup for Colorado defensively.
Hammond 6 to shoot. Working with Jope. Hammond leans in and tough shot there. No. Phillips with a powerful rebound. Miller at the hoop. Phillips punches it, but it's going to be offensive interference. They're going to say it was on the rim.
Let's take a look. Strong drive right here from Miller. Watch Phillips come in. Well, those are tough. Let's see if it comes off here, Chucky. Well, right after that play, Bob Hurley made a pretty quick move. Looked like it was 1992 Final Four right there. See his animation. But to me, okay, so that play. Strong, tough drive by Miller, attacking the offensive glass by Phillips. I mean, this is, if Arizona State wins this game, it'll be solely based on toughness.
Jope is banged up for Colorado. Full court pressure from Arizona State. Smith turning, Hammond lobbing it up top. Deck! 2 hands! He can absolutely soar.
Well, that's what happens when you handle pressure and get out of the double. You have numbers on the back end. Arizona State brings the full court pressure. You advance the ball up the floor. Boy, great job right there. Never touches the hardwood. Boom, boom, dack right there.
The foul earlier must have been against Miller because Jihad's still listed with 3 and they just put him back in the game. Baskin inside. Phillips comes over to help, and they get a foul against Phillips now. So 2 shots for Baskin coming up. Arizona State got to be careful emotionally right now. Baskin, a 70% free throw shooter. Not sure if Baskin was talking to Dak there, or if he was talking to Phillips. This is a little heated tonight.
All right, so Chucky, to confirm, Jihad, Miller, Sandin all with 3.
Correct. See, that was the 4-4. I got confused earlier on the 8 or 44, and they subbed Jihad at the time. Three-point lead for Colorado, their largest of the night. Well, where are you looking right now if you're Arizona State to try and calm things down?
Well, my answer to it is always a paint touch. There it is.
There's your paint touch. Phillips with the 2-hand jam.
And have I told you I like Miller? I mean, understood the defender had turned his back to the ball and just throw it up to Phillips and let him go get it.
Nice feed, and Baskin with the finish.
Boy, Hammond's been great. Hammond in the second half comes out offensively aggressive, makes a couple shots. Now he's out there playmaking.
In 2 games against Arizona State, Trevor Baskin has 42 points, 19 tonight. Mason right at the shot blocker, Dak, who gets whistled for a foul.
Here's Mason. That's a straight line drive, and what you want to do is what Austin Mason did is you go right at the chin of a shot blocker. Tell you what, speaking of toughness, what Mason has had to do in terms of court time in this league that requires so much toughness, energy, takes a lot out of you. He's had 7 straight games coming into tonight where he's played 37 minutes or more for Bob Hurley.
He's at 31 tonight of a possible 31-45. Ruffin is fouled by Ali. Colorado, really both teams from here on out in the bonus.
Become a much more physical game here in the second half.
These 2 teams spent the last 13 years squaring off against each other in the Pac-12. That's when Colorado made the move originally from the Big 12 over. Very familiar with each other. As coaches, very familiar with each other.
They get Dak right there. If so, that'd be 3 on him.
He will take a seat. There's just 5 seconds until the next media timeout, so protecting him in a tie game. Phillips to the line. 1 for 1 there tonight. 9.7 rebounds for Sean Phillips. Second year at Arizona State. Another big free throw from him. Transferred last year from LSU. 7 feet tall, 245, monster athlete.
Well, you knew you would need him even more so tonight. And maybe the biggest key of keeping him out there was for him to stay out of foul trouble, which he has, to his credit. He's done a tremendous job of staying away from silly fouls.
Whistle away from the ball, right on cue.
Is there such a thing called a foul jinx?
If so, that was it. Free throws when we come back. 1-point game in Boulder. Potentially Colorado exiting that group of teams tonight at home. This is the front end. Yakimovsky They got him for a foul on the rebound, so we're just going to switch ends here. This is your kind of basketball right here, isn't it?
Games that last 2 hours and 20 minutes because of fouls? Or what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Well, I do, and we're not on that pace. But and this officiating crew has done a great job. But I do like the intensity level. I mean, it was there the first half, but it's gone to a whole new level. And as you mentioned earlier in this half, Colorado, I want to say a desperate team, but I mean, they've continued to fight and battle and just haven't gotten over the hump to get that win. And then you have an Arizona State team that's been thrown a tremendous amount of adversity throughout the course of the season, and probably its most adversity with their lack of players that are available here tonight that they've had all season long, fighting, trying to find a way to get out of here with a road win.
You played in this conference. I mean, what is the step up in intensity like, even if it's not a rivalry, when you are in conference play?
Well, the step up to me, other than the physical part of it, is the good teams, which is most everybody, there's no possessions taken, not one single possession is taken off, especially on the defensive end. I mean, to me that is it, because when that happens, somebody's going to pop an 8-0 run on you before you can turn around.
Arizona State has had a great response since Colorado took the lead. They were up 3 with 8:34 to go, and Arizona State has put together a nice 7-0 run in the last 60 seconds. Hammond snaps that, cuts it back to a 2-point game.
Boy, nice job. He used his big body right there to shield off Mason. Got just enough of an angle, worked himself in a position to kiss it off that window.
13 for Hammond, all of them in the second half. Jihad fouled inside. It's number 3 on Yakimovsky. There's some foul trouble on both sides. Dak has 3, Yakimovsky has 3. More problems for the Sun Devils, though. 4 of their 6 players in the rotation have 3. First free throw good. This is probably what's going to decide the game,
yeah,
these shots.
And what you're also seeing here in the second half, when you get into these, I mean, Big 12 grinders, you and I have seen them all these years, and rightly so, what you should do. Both these teams, they're attacking the paint. And that's why it's been more physical.
Hammond and Baskin combining for 32 tonight for Colorado. There is Hammond. Attacking again. Scoops it up, no. Miller steps back in for the rebound. That was an interesting sequence there between Miller and Ali. Almost a travel, almost back court. Mason scoops it up. No, Jihad somehow has a rebound, surrounded by white jerseys. Inside, Baskin likes this matchup. Ruffin driving, hits the pull-up.
That's really good transition offense. It's like a secondary break. You throw it inside, you don't get anything, go right back out. Nice, very under control decision-making and shot right there by Ruffin on that exchange.
Ali almost threw that one to his coach. Jihad 5 to shoot against Baskin. Offensive foul on Jihad. That is number 4.
Well, you're going to see him try to back him in right. So anytime you have that hook or chicken wing right there, even if you don't gain an advantage, certainly in the open floor like that, the officials are going to call that. And understandably so. You know, that was a tired offensive possession. obviously, by Arizona State right there.
Wide open Hammond. And Arizona State really got away with one there. Hammond wide open. That was a shooter's bounce, by the way, just not, you know.
Well, you get those at home.
Miller left the ball behind after that crossover. Now Sannon. Freshman's been pretty quiet tonight offensively. Miller deep three. Rims up and rims, oh, all the way in. Somehow.
Oh, that hit the front of the rim about 3 times.
Well, Hammond got the roll, but it went out of bounds first. That was quite the roll on the road for Miller. Yakimovsky mid-range shot.
Boy, tough answer right there. Yakimovsky.
Just 5 points for him tonight, their second leading scorer. Inside Phillips against Dak. Oh my goodness, Dak hits the floor. No whistle. Wow. Was there an arm that extended?
Well, the arm extended. Maybe Antonio Petty didn't feel like Dak took it. Maybe he gave ground first.
Baskin against Sannon. Ali almost had the takeaway. Ronchik at Phillips goes straight up. Yakimovsky too strong. Baskin again. Dak with 1 second. That rims off.
Boy, a bunch of bunnies right there at the rim for Colorado. Arizona State can take their time right here.
Ali open, too strong.
Yeah, I don't think that's what you want. That was contested right there. Good job of Colorado getting out to Ali on that 3.
Baskin against Ali. Dak right around Phillips. Oh my goodness, Bangot Dak crushes it. Wow.
Couple of plays with authority. Phillips, boom, right here. Watch that. Ball fake, drive, flush. Become a war of attrition, especially if you're Arizona State.
All 13 for Hammond in the second half. Miller leads the way for Arizona State with 18. Sean Phillips has played an outstanding game, filling in the shoes of Jaden Quaintance, their talented freshman. Phillips 25 minutes tonight. His previous season high was 19. And he's still gonna have to play another 2:38, you would imagine, as Dak finishes off the 3-point play to cut it to a 2-point lead. What's on the line? Colorado looking for their first Big 12 win of the season. Arizona State, to stay in the spot they are on the bubble, has to win tonight, according to Joe Lunardi. Sannon open. Couldn't get it. 0 for 5 from 3 for the talented freshman. Dak. Here comes Hammond. Back to Dak, 5 to shoot. Ronchik, 4 to shoot, around Sannon. Hangs and hits.
Well, Arizona State was on the verge of a solid defensive possession, but Sannon's closeout allowed that wide open gap to drive it.
64 all. Jihad around Baskin. Got Dak to go up and leads in. Huge bucket for Bashir Jihad.
Well, both teams, Chucky, continue to attack the paint. Ronchik right here. has the angle, the size, finishes on Sandin. And then how about Jihad tonight? Strong right there, rip, drive it, his skill set. And you have to get out on him because he can shoot the three, but just an innate ability to draw contact and get to the line.
Jihad playing with 4 fouls, draws the 4th foul against Dak now with 91 seconds to play. Colorado takes a timeout. We'll step away with them. A lot second of this game in Miller and Mason.
Well, regardless of what happens, it's been an unbelievable effort by Arizona State under adverse conditions.
They go at Jihad, who has 4 fouls, couldn't draw it, and they turn it over.
Got a spot throw in right here. Bob Hurley still has 3 timeouts in his pocket over there.
To Mason, 4 to get it across midline. That's almost taken away. Jihad does step across half court. There's a whistle first, and they're going to say 10-second violation. Wow, it looked like he got across just in time.
Yeah, that was close.
It's a big chance for Colorado. Hammond for the tie. Rims off. Phillips fighting for it. Ranchi kept it alive. Baskin misses. And now a foul underneath against Arizona State. Goes against Alston Mason, his 2nd of the night. Free throws for Yakimovsky, a 79% free throw shooter. Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way. It's the first. What's the message Tad Boyle trying to get to his team right now with 55 seconds left?
Well, whether they pick up full here or not, Chucky, continue to pressure a tired Arizona State team. That's what he'll do right here. He gets Dak out, Jope in there. But pressure without fouling. 55 seconds left, plenty of time. 1 possession game. You're going to get the ball back if you get a stop here.
To Jihad, who is fouled by Baskin, and
yeah, that's exactly what you don't want.
Two free throws for Bashir Jihad. 7 for 9 at the stripe tonight. You said it, this Colorado group not going to quit on Tad Boyle. Both teams showing some serious resilience in different ways tonight. For Colorado, it's been a very tough season after a pretty good start early. They started the season 5-1 at the win over UConn, but 0-8 in conference play. On the flip side, Arizona State, they've lost a ton of these games, these close games in tough environments at Kansas, to Iowa State. They're in another one as shorthanded as they've been all year. Jihad pushes the lead to 3.
Yeah, toughness right there. A good free throw shooter, but you know he's exhausted. Great job of knocking those 2 down.
Tad Boyle calls timeout. They gotten some good look.
And/or Yakimovsky had to get going, and it was Hammond, to his credit. And notice he was getting things downhill. He was getting to the rim, then he was always also getting downhill to his mid-range. Here's one late in this half where he's able to turn the corner, under control, has the body angle, able to kiss it off the window. But he's been obviously more Hammond-like in the second half.
4 assists to go with 13 points. 4th year at Colorado, one school. Not often do you say that in today's era of college sports. Here comes Hammond off a couple screens. Contested three. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Ron Cheek. Baskin steps sideways. He's got a chance. Dak fighting for it. Miller has the board. Now Arizona State has to deal with the pressure. And Mason goes down holding his right knee. They do take a timeout on the floor. Mason limping toward the huddle. Looks to be okay.
Getting to the paint, continuing to lengthen the game. I mean, if you get that three to go, it's great. But if you don't in that situation, obviously not as high a percentage shot as getting downhill. Makes it tough.
25 seconds left. 3-point game. Mason takes the timeout. And they still have one more. Bobby Hurley a chance to talk things over. Short-handed, but the work they've been able to do. You think about those two talented freshmen we keep talking about, Sandin and Quaintance. They have not played a ton of basketball together.
It's something we haven't mentioned too. Remember, the altitude here can be tough.
They get it into Miller. Jope fouls out of Miller, who will have a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Miller just under 80% on the season at the free throw line. Had 9 points in the first meeting with Colorado, hit 3 threes on 4 attempts. But tonight, 18, 6 assists, leading the charge offensively and misses the first free throw. Phillips in for Sandin.
Chuck, I always felt as a player when you're exhausted like this, you have to over-exaggerate your mechanics a little bit. Knees, deep breath, follow through. Need a little bit more of that than you typically would give.
This is a huge free throw from Miller. And it rims out. Colorado has a chance. 20 seconds. Hammond across for Ron Cheek, who pulls up, and nobody's fouled. The freshman from Slovakia. 3 free throws to potentially tie it.
Boy, you just want to contest right there, and you have to give the shooter room to land. You have to give him room to land. Bad foul right there by Phillips.
First free throw, no good. Ron Cheek came to the U.S. from Slovakia his freshman year of high school. Attended high school in California as a 3-star recruit. That's the second free throw. What's the message now? Colorado, quick trap, or are you fouling instantly?
Well, he makes this here. I think you have an opportunity to trap a tired team. Give one trap an opportunity and then foul immediately.
He does make the second. Regardless, Colorado will have a chance. Even if they do send Arizona State to the free throw line, they make them both. Into Jihad, who they do trap.
Now foul.
To Miller, and he's fouled by Jope. Or did he? Traveled! They say Miller traveled. Miller's on the ground hurt, took a shot from Jope. Colorado will take a timeout. The concern now is for Adam Miller.
So they give this hard trap a chance. Jihad right there, gets out of it. Oh,
I don't think so.
Take another look at that. See if he takes a couple of steps. Oh, I mean, that's tough right there.
And based on the looks we had, you say probably no travel there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's tough. It looked awkward.
it did look awkward.
He turned immediately into the defender, and a lot of times in those situations you do see that, but
Yeah, let's look at it one more time. It's kind of,
well, now Colorado ball.
well,
Down one, and here we go. Ronchik inbounding. Yakimovsky downhill, lobs it up and denied by Phillips. Huge block by Sean Phillips.
yeah, plenty of time right here for Colorado. Remember, Miller's out of the game, so you're not as good defensively with Sannon in there.
Ronchik inbounding. Yakimovsky fumbled it. Ronchik for the lead. Ribs off. Phillips has the board with 2.5 seconds on the clock. And it was a pretty good look, Brendan.
Boy, he just misses this. Inbounds, handoff, right there. Oh,
And it looked good.
yeah, it did. That's from this angle. That looks like it's got a chance to go down. It's a little bit short. Great job of Phillips being weak side right there, going and getting it 2 hands and securing it.
2.4 on the clock. Phillips misses the first. We showed you the finish in Tucson last night with Caleb Love hitting one from about 55 feet. You can't advance the ball. Colorado has no timeouts. Ali checks in. Phillips, the second free throw.
No
And it
foul.
goes in.
No foul here. Everything in front, no foul if you're Arizona State.
This is the same time that was on the clock. Yakimovsky, midcourt for the win. No good, and Arizona State survives in Boulder.